We're back and welcome to episode 147 of the New Meta podcast. Out for a week, but returned once again. Marco, welcome to the pods. How you doing?
Thank you, doing good. I'm glad to be back in action.
Yeah, had a bit of an impromptu week off that I can't remember if we told the listeners at the end of the last episode, but I was on holiday. But we're back and should be
stronger
normal from here on. Yeah, back stronger than ever, of course.
Yeah, we were just celebrating 4th of July, right? That's basically what it came down to.
Yeah. Celebrating 4th of July, celebrating England winning the Euros.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a jinx.
That's going to be confusing to some people.
Really? Yeah? What do you mean confusing to some people?
Well, either they listen to this and know the outcome, or they listen to it and they know that we don't know the outcome, but we got the outcome correct, and they're like, shit, they saw the future.
Yeah. Someone's getting confused, that's for sure. Adam, likewise. Welcome back. How you doing?
Good. I'm good. You guys ducked my birthday week. No birthday DotA.
Oh no, we missed come down with my birthday.
It's fine, I'm old. I felt my fingers slow. And I didn't play for it looks like it said 4 days until today. And I felt like it'd been 2 years since I played the first game. I usually like my Mars, but this was not a good Mars performance. I felt like I couldn't hit a spear to save my life.
Welcome to my world.
Then. Yeah.
Yeah. Always W first. That's what I've learned it took me 20 games to learn it, but that's what I've learned. I flew straight back into ranked after not playing Dota for a week and a half.
Wow, really?
I just flew in. I was like, came back after a week and a half, thought about queuing solo on ranked. I was like, you gotta back yourself and just play some ranked, get the rust off in ranked. So, quick 1-1, got the rust off, didn't gain or lose any MMR, but very much come from behind victory as well on Legion Commander, which was quite cool. When BKB shard, no blink, because we were against a Meepo, Viper, Earth Spirit lineup where basically, it's Meepo. I don't need blink. He's going to be coming on to me, and my main job is to save people, give them spell immunity with my W and use overwhelming odds on Meepo, basically.
Does it reduce cooldown, the shard? Or is it purely...
I don't think so. It's just it's just giving spell immunity, yeah.
Is that it?
Oh no, it reduces cooldown by 2 seconds. Okay. Yeah. That was a fun game. I mean, LC is actually such a strong counter to Meepo, because overwhelming odds with the level 10 talent... with the level 15 talent, just melts the Meepo, and the new shard is really, really good against Meepo, because spell immunity kind of counters the hero. So, it's very strong. And Jules also very good against it as well for, nuking down one of them. So, that was a fun game and a big comeback, so that was nice. And then I lost a Sanking game. We don't need to think about that.
So after the breakaway, you've not had any kind of revelations from Gabe or Ice Frog about changing position? You're still rooted in the off lane? Because you've had a breakaway, so maybe you come back and maybe the senses have changed. How do you feel?
It's hard to say. It's one of those where it's almost out of comfort that I'm playing 3, which seems like a weird thing to say given that mids I've played for years and offlane I've only played for a few months. But when you've played your most recent 50 games on one position, it's like I can't go back to mid and bust out a Lina or a Puck or these heroes that I might want, or Meepo. They're very rusty basically. So when I'm playing ranked, it's just I feel like 3 is still where I want to go for a while. So, where's TI happening? What's going on?
So where it's happening, get it to the UK. Everyone say UK, honestly.
UK, VK, we all K.
Yeah, man. It's gonna happen. Full stadium, no restrictions.
Yeah, Wembley.
In Wembley.
In Wembley.
Yeah. It's already hosting major sporting events. Why can't you just host TI as well?
Yeah, exactly. We'll just usher in any kind of eSport Pro, inclusive nation. Yeah, we'll ban any other non-UK attendees, but we actually don't need them. No offense. UK scene is strong. We'll get plenty of fans.
All 5 of you.
Whoa. Don't disrespect the UK scene. We are
ESL
big fans.
Birmingham, most buzzed event of the year, every time.
Every time. Casters are like, this is on par with TI, and it's like a
It's
minor
like the
event.
4 UK people we play with plus Rhyme. That's all. UK Dota.
Sponsors are on board because at ESL Birmingham, DHL get their name chanted, so the sponsors are going to be loving it.
Basically, there's many reasons to be in the UK.
I think it's going to be at We Play.
Yeah.
God, I want it to be... They need fans, though. They can't have it the same setup
It's going to be
as the last
Animajor Part 2.
No. I hope not. I really, really want fans. It's just... Even as someone that will be viewing it on Twitch, I still want fans. I want atmosphere. I want to hear people cheer and stuff.
But the best part is watching in Dota TV or on Twitch and you hear the crowd in the background.
Think about how dead True Sight will be when it's just, just quiet. And
hotel room, yeah.
Yeah. I think more importantly than where, or as importantly as where, is when. Is it still going to happen on that date? Because everyone in the world's booked off a week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It sounds like it. It feels like it's still happening that day. I feel like if they thought it would deviate, they would have communicated that, because it's just too big an event to give less than, or maybe a month's notice of, oh, by the way, it's changing when it's happening. It doesn't feel like it's changing when it's going to happen. But if they did change when it's going to happen, it'd piss a lot of people off, including myself. So,
yeah. I think everyone's in the same boat there. Everyone's booked that week off when they got the news about dates, and then everyone's like, fingers crossed, please, nothing weird happening. No strange. Oh, it's now in September or something.
I was going to say, because in one of the announcements a while back, they said in June they were expecting to give communication about what the Sweden viewing situation was going to be. But then obviously the Swedish government's backstabbed us, Game of Thrones style, Red Wedding. And now I guess they're still kind of figuring it out. So yeah, the June comms didn't happen. Understandably.
Yeah, we'll have to see about that one. Adam mentioned 4th of July and America's independence. More important than that is England's independence from being shocking at football tournaments, which has sparked me to ask the question, which hero would be the best at football?
Who's got the most legs? Broodmother.
Well,
chopped everyone down.
Meepo's got 5,
5 people.
So that's pretty strong. But I think there are many candidates. I think OD is a natural born striker, just Astral the keeper and then slot it in.
Yeah. Any kind of mobility blink.
I mean, if Pango turns into a ball and rolls into the goal,
that's true, yeah.
Yeah, how do you stop it? You're going to have Bane as like a tactical sweeper defender to hold him in place.
Well, I think Invoker as a goalkeeper, slap down an ice wall, ball's just not getting past.
Shit.
But what if, Ricky, right? He just goes in Viz. You don't know if it's a handball. He just carries the ball into the goal.
And also that dart. Just send the keeper to sleep for 8 seconds. See, this dart just gets better and better and better. We've been talking about how good this is for months.
Spirit's the kind of true player. Like, plays by the
rules. He actually kicks.
Yeah.
Doesn't rely on any gimmick.
Wisp tethers to the ball. Relocates into the goal. Unstoppable. Weaver can time lapse. I don't know if we're going by just spells or like lore. Like, he can control time. Faceless Void can stop time.
Yeah, Void's got to be pretty good.
Who would be the worst?
There's so many that would be bad. I mean, Ogre doesn't seem to offer anything. I guess a stun.
It's slow. Like, someone with no disables, like Undying, just completely useless. Offers nothing.
You make zombies. What about techies?
Fear factor.
Techies would get the stadium shut down. Like the game would just be cancelled.
Constant bomb threats. No game can go ahead. Yeah.
Guaranteed draw.
Yeah. Well, there's your fluff, listener. There you go. Winter Wyvern. We wanted to talk about this hero last episode, but didn't get round to it. Our favourite hero, New Meta Podcast's favourite hero. Let's do a bit of a reverse-aroo where we'll maybe become more casual in conversation as we go on, but let's start with the meat, what the listeners want to hear, which is this Winter Wyvern hero. It's the most popular hero in Dota right now, I think it's fair to say. It's right up there as the most or second most picked hero in Divine Plus. It's got an insane win rate, 55%, which, given that it's in 21% of games, is bonkers. Marco, you're a Wyvern fan. How do you feel about this hero? How do you see Wyvern? What makes it the Dota hero in the meta at the moment?
So just to clarify, are we talking Nemistice meta, or are we talking 5v5 Dota meta? Kappa, no Kappa?
Well, or are we talking, like, on the soccer pitch? Because, can you imagine this hero on a free kick? Winner's curse in the box. The wall just, like, all hit one another, and then you easy goal.
Crazy range as well of Arctic Burn. One pop a shot from anywhere, no SA.
Yeah, screamers. Well, in terms of Nemistice, oh my god, I'm kidding.
I was about to say you're going to have to save us here from the football analogies, but yeah.
Nemistice only gamer.
Honestly, I've been smashing Nemistice. I've not been able to play much in the last couple of weeks, and then I've been able to grind Nemistice, cracking out wins. Actually unbeatable.
Do you want to just get a quick Nemesis corner in?
Nemesis
corner? 2
minutes.
Quick 2
Honestly,
minutes.
I was jotting on my win-loss.
Yeah, that's all it's been doing in WhatsApp is like 5-0 today, can't lose, and then it's like, oh no, I've lost 2 games. I've been figured out.
11 wins, 3 losses. That's like that's like better than my Mars in ranked. Do you know what I mean? Like, why would I play ranked when I can play Nemesis?
Here's what we do, actually. Nemesis corner, stay tuned, is coming. Do you want to learn off Marco Taco how to win all of your Nemesis games? If you do, stay tuned. See, that's expert hosting right there. Keep the listeners engaged.
No, keep me engaged as well. I'm keen to no, all kidding. Wyvern Dota 2, real Dota 2, yeah, fan of the hero for a long time. I mean, there has to be a patch before TI. Surely, I don't know, and the reason I say this is because if there's a patch, we know for sure Wyvern's in the firing line, because this heal meta, which was not, I don't like the word abused at the major, but popularized at the major, obviously so immensely strong. Holy Locket, the item, Wyvern with the heals, with the disables, the hero. So this reason I say is because if there's a patch, that's getting hit, and then will the hero survive? It depends how hard it gets hit. But at the moment, thriving still. And I mean, I've always been a big Wyvern fan, and it can do so much. Where to start? I guess start in the Embrace. Again, with this Holy Locket meta, it's, what's the number? It's like 20% HP at level 4, times it by, 1.35? It's like a 30%. Is that right? Nearly 30% of your HP is being healed, and then you're popping with 20 stick charges, which I think people forget. Holy Locket is an active as well that you can use on allies to heal them. People might forget that.
That also gets
PSA.
Buffed.
That also gets its heal buffed. So it's like, you're getting like 40%, 50% heal done every 10 seconds with a shard. Absolutely just phenomenal value add from that. And we've been having pubs, and we've not even been grinding pubs, but even the ones we've played, and there's been a Wyvern, like Adams on it or something like this, you'll finish the game with about 40k heal if you're really on top of it. And that's like 2-3 enemy heroes worth of damage. It is so sizable. And then you've got his other spells to talk about, like, and if you just jump to the ultimate, which is obviously a really powerful spell, I mean, something I said was ranged heroes I felt like were the thing, and with carries as well, and just heroes generally, I had this feeling that ranged heroes were in the driving seat more than you melee, and I think a hero like Wyvern loves a ranged hero on the enemy team for the ult. It's just that bit easier to catch people, or you're going to get more damage output with ranged heroes. That's like a super minor point. The kit is just so strong. There's so much you could talk about with Wyvern's kit.
Yeah. What do you like most about Wyvern's kit, Adam? Because I feel like you've always had this curse spell that's always been a kill, and so you've always kind of had solo carry potential, which is always nice for pubs and just nice in general. But now it's like Cold Embrace takes it to another level, and then you've got obviously Blast and Arctic Burner important parts of the kit as well. But I don't know what your personal favourites are from the hero and what you think makes it so good.
All of it.
You actually got too much.
No, it's got no bad spells. She's like the supreme support because she scales insane into the late game. Most of those heroes, I mean, we've always said you got to make make it happen in the early stages as a support because you fall off, and it's like not Wyvern, never Wyvern, because the Arctic Burn is percentage based damage. So it doesn't matter how tanky like a Centaur gets, you just chunk them for a third of their health, no problem, at any stage of the game. And then, the W is like wave clear city.
Yeah.
And then in supreme late game, it gets a stun, right? So then you're just a big AoE stun. And we've already talked about Cold Embrace's utility. But then the Winter's Curse, I mean, it just gets better the more and more people level up and get items. And it scales in how long it lasts, right? So it basically guarantees you get a kill outside of Aeon discs and things. And then the talents. I really like level 10 Wyvern now. It used to be like you get that 50 damage, but if you're going the heal build, you get that plus 1.5% Cold Embrace heal, which is another
6%, right?
Yeah, another 6%. So that's a quarter. It's like 26 times 1.35. So you're getting close. You're over a third. Yeah, you're over a third of somebody's health. I mean, it's really easy to, like, as you said, heal for multiple heroes worth of damage on the other team. Yeah. If you have a Centaur on your team with, like, a heart and you heal them, it's just like 1.5, 2k heal on one spell.
Yeah.
Like, you could totally set your record with Wyvern Cold Embrace.
I think Adam's point about the scale factor, the scaling factor is the golden nugget of the hero success. Because as we've seen in the last 6 months, 9 months, we have moved to longer games. Games take, on average, significantly longer than they used to.
Qualifiers, every series had a 60-minute game in it.
Yeah, craziness. And if you think about what scales in Dota, with Wyvern's Curse, like Adam says, the enemy gets stronger and your curse gets stronger, it lasts longer. The heal itself scales because it's percentage based. It's not someone like a Witch Doctor where it's flat numbers, which won't scale. Then if you think about damage, if you say the percentage HP, that scales. Like any other support, it's just absolute numbers go up, and that doesn't scale relatively well into a late game. Or if you think about even just ultimates of supports, think about a Maiden ultimate or a Jakira ultimate or like a Bane ultimate, like good ultimates, sure, but at 35 minutes plus, are you really getting kind of a 6-second Fiend's Grip off or like a freezing field? You need to have like crazy items to do that, blink BKBs, whatever. Whatever support.
You get like pure damage macro pirate 25 or something. Yeah,
and even then it's like how much are you really offering compared to a 5-second AoE disable that guarantee kills any hero if it's used correct. It's the scale factor I really think is It's so strong, and then it's a strong laner. For obvious reasons, W is such a strong spell, if you wanted to skill it, that you're smashing early game, mid game, and late game. And yeah, for long metas like we've got, that's the dream for us +5.
Also, I was going to throw in on the scaling point, Arctic Burn vision and repositioning, that doesn't fall off either. Do you know what I mean? Vision and repositioning is almost, you could say, scales as you know.
Well,
you're right. It's
I was
going to say
the exact same thing is like the spell. You're Bat Rider, like it fireflies you. Like we don't even mention that. You press Q, you can fly all over the place. Your jukes are crazy. You got like easy repositioning for your ult. I mean, you can just come over the back of a Roshan pit, CN and ult somebody, and like get out. And then it also gives you like 600 attack range, pretty much at max. And then we didn't even say Winter's Curse pierces BKB.
Yeah.
Like that's another, just a classic 5.5 second, BKB piercing stun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's bonkers. Another sort of long-term trend we've seen, as well as games going longer, is supports have more money. Sentry wards are cheaper, wards are free, courier shenanigans, bounty runes, gold for stacking, all of these things. And Wyvern as a 5 loves items, and so you can quite easily get this Holy Locket. And you've got Splinter Blast, which helps you farm even more. Yeah,
like that item, that item builds out of everything you already build, and it's just like you can passive gold that item easy, no problem, without killing anything. And if you kill something, it just is super fast.
Yeah, and then you've got Shard and Blink, which are more items that Wyvern absolutely loves to have, and so it suits being a pos. There aren't really pos 6s anymore, just because of the amount of gold that heroes seem to get, which really suits Wyvern as well.
Yeah, Aether Lens, you're a good neutral item holder. I mean, this hero with spider legs or something, or a telescope, is real nasty. Because that's the one downside is that Winter's Curse has a kind of a low cast range. So you gotta either be a god at positioning, which it seems like every pro support is, or you gotta take the time to have an Aether Lens and some movement speed items, or a blink or something.
Blink feels amazing on Wyvern. I love a blink on Wyvern. Just feels like suddenly you're the carry, just instantly getting kills.
It's so nasty that you can lose a fight, and then enemy team starts pushing your tier 3, and you just blink out of nowhere, curse, they get a kill, and it just stops their push. Okay,
you can't push if Wyvern's alive. That with the choke points on ramps and high ground, it's so juicy for the Wyvern. Another point about scaling? Just final point on scaling. If you think about Cold Embrace prevents physical damage. Well, magic damage versus physical damage. Magic is the stronger of the two in the early and the mid game. You transition to the late game, and it's all physical power. It's all physical damage. That's what scales on your hard carry pos 1. And then you've got your save, which is against physical. So the relative value of your Cold Embrace to negate physical damage only gets better by going into the late game. And then it actually scales numbers-wise, and it becomes a 10-second cooldown, 6-second downtime, etc. There is a lot of layers to how well that hero's kit scales.
I'm tearing up. Just gets better and better. It's beautiful. Let's talk for a minute on the laning of Wyvern, because we're talking a lot about scaling, but how do we actually get there? And I've been pleasantly surprised playing Wyvern as a 5 in the safe lane, how much value you get from not just Splinter Blast, but also Arctic Burn in the lane, when you're able to basically chase down heroes with the slow where they cannot reach you and you can kill them all the way from your lane equilibrium all the way back to their offlane tower, presuming you've kept the lane in a decent place. And then you've got Splinter Blast, which you're getting multiple points in and does a lot of damage, actually. You know, it does 180 damage at level 2, scaling up to 340, not particularly relevant for the laning stage, but, you know, 100, 180, 260. Those are good numbers for a spell that's on a 7-second cooldown. So how do you see Wyvern's laning? Do you think it's strong, or...?
So, me and Stan, I was PA, Stan was Wyvern, if you remember, a couple of weeks ago. And we laned against KBBQ, who was the hoodwink. Adam might find that interesting. NA fanboy.
Yeah, the manager for...
The manager of Quincy Crew.
Quincy Crew, yeah.
Yeah, so he was... So you can see it's him on DotA buff, and he was solo queuing. So this guy's an immortal player, and I think the Potom that he was laning with was... I think immortal as well, but it's me and Stan, PA Wyvern. PA is not really... Isn't a strong laner, just... Objectively, PA is not a strong laner. But with the Wyvern, Stan's just chomping mangoes, spamming the W, and hitting the hoodwink and the Potom. And we went like... I'm sure we went like 4-0 before I kind of died a couple of times. I think people will be surprised how much work you can do with literally a level 1 Q, ideally a level 2 W, if you're hitting the spells, and people get caught off guard by the movement slow from both Splinter Blast and the Arctic Burn, and then, like you say, you're chasing them down. And if you're a 5, they typically you're a bit closer to your tower, so there's a lot more space where you can chase heroes down in. With a few mangoes, I mean, the Splinter Blast is 105 mana, then 120 mana. You can throw out a lot. So I'm really big fan of an aggressive Wyvern laning, and I really think you can smash most lanes. I think you can get smashed yourself if the enemies are, I don't know, like somehow just even more aggressive, because you've got no save potential, you've got no disable to stop them killing you or your carry. But if you've got that edge of aggression, that edge of damage, it's actually mad how much you can output.
Yeah, I mean, it's all just spacing based, right? Because you have giga slows, but you're also 285 move speed. So you just gotta keep the distance.
Yeah.
Or if they go on you, you gotta be able to Arctic Burn over a tree line back to your tower or something. Because you definitely can get whacked if you let them walk up on you. But you have Arctic Burn for the strength melee offlaners, and then if you're against something like a hoodwink, like you say, you have Splinter Blast, which is just big damage outside of percentage based. You know, she's probably got like 600 HP, so if you hit her with a Splinter Blast,
Splinter
Blast, Arctic Burn combo, and then when you were PA, like with a Q and you jump on her, she's pretty much exploded.
Yeah, and also you kind of do have a bit of a save in the sense that you have Arctic Burn, and obviously you don't like blowing a 42-second cooldown spell just to juke and survive, but you will do it if you have to. You know, you can... If you have that spell up, you kind of shouldn't die in the laning stage, because you can just go over trees, and there's no way the enemy should be able to chase you out unless they have, you know, they're here with an inbuilt blink or something. And then also you're probably going to have Cold Embrace at level... Well... At what level? I guess level 4
so this
at
is
the
Thing.
latest.
You could
is that this hero can do any build. I mean, we watched it at WePlay. There were games where they went 4-0-4. I mean, they got the ult, of course, but like no Splinter Blast. Or there are times where you get no Cold Embrace. There's definitely max Q lanes or games where you just want to have a 20-second Arctic Burn. Because you're, like, amazing D-warder with that and stuff. There's definitely games where you can go, like, 2 points in Arctic Burn and 1 in Splinter Blast, because maybe you want to have more uptime on that, more slow, and more range. And, like, the Splinter Blast goes up in damage, but it doesn't scale in slow. It's always at 30%. So, if you just need the slow, you can just keep that at 1 point. And I feel like there's totally lanes where you can get Cold Embrace at level 2. Like, that is super value. Imagine like you save your carry from buying tangos because you can just heal them.
Yeah, you do definitely see the Cold Embrace level 2.
Like if it's just a super powerful like brawl lane where it's back and forth, I mean that's what turns the tide for your team or for your lane is that you just heal somebody 200 and they're like that's the difference for them being 80% health and like 50% health.
Final little piece of discussion on Wyvern then before we move on. You mentioned that the hero's probably in line for a nerf. First of all, when do you think that's going to happen? Because I think we're going to play out all the qualifiers on this patch. Do you think we'll see a mini patch straight after EU and China qualifiers end? Because that's sort of what I'm feeling. And if so, what do you think gets hit? You mentioned the healing. Is it just looking like, is it Cold Embrace numbers that are going to be changed, or is that enough? What do you think?
Why do you think the hero got popular all of a sudden?
I think it was the Holy Locket heal meta.
It's
what pushed it over the edge. Obviously, it's always had this kit of really strong ult, good laning, but I think what pushed it over the edge was Cold Embrace is now brokenly strong in any 30-plus minute game.
Yeah,
I think the hero got really good when you could damage the hero that you've Winter's Cursed. I think that's when the hero got like really, really strong. But they didn't get like the uptick in pick. You know? It was just like a nice thing and people tried it as like a 3 and as a mid. And you would do that Orchid thing. But then all of a sudden the Holy Locket came along. So I don't know if it's the chicken or the egg.
It's also, I think, a lot of more physical heroes. We mentioned games going longer, and I think when you saw heroes like TA prior to Winter Wyvern being the biggest hero in the patch. You know, TA was this huge hero, that was the biggest hero, and then Terrorblade and heroes that Cold Embrace is just so good against, like heavy physical. So that's part of it as well, I think. But yeah, the damaging curse point's an interesting one because that's a very nice buff, but you sort of forget about that one.
Because if there's certain games, I guess, where you can still be a 5 and go the 50 damage challenge at 10, and you can solo kill people, or that 50 damage is a huge, like that's 250 damage during a curse extra that you're putting in on somebody. Yeah, that fact that you can Arctic Burn and Splinter Blast while they're getting wailed on by their team.
Do you think that is here to stay in terms of where the patch is going to come? Are we all in agreement that Cold Embrace will probably be nerfed? Or are we seeing like a 1%? Let's say they changed max health per second. They changed it from 2, 3, 4, 5 to 1, 2, 3, 4. Would that be enough, or does it need cooldown changes?
I think cooldown. So with the shard decreasing it by
5, I don't think
5. I think cooldown will change because in late game, 30 plus minute games, like having that Cold Embrace come up. I mean, if they slow it down by a couple seconds, even like 3 seconds, that will have significant impact in these late game fights and skirmishes that go on for 60 seconds. I think that could very likely get hit because I think the downtime is too.
Cold Embrace shard from 15 to 12 instead of 15 to 10 or something.
Yeah,
or just stick at 15.
I think they're both good shouts. I really think the cooldown factor becomes so good.
Winter's Curse 90 seconds at all levels instead of scaling down to 80.
Yeah, something like that would be interesting.
The shard downtime with the shard, it's 6-second downtime, 10-second cooldown, it's 4-second duration. So you've got the enemy team's got 6-second window to output physical damage against one of your cores.
And also 100 to 0 them, because if they don't, they're back to 100%.
Yeah, literally. It is really insane. 6-second downtime. So if, like Adam says, if that's like 10-second downtime, it doesn't sound much, but again, it's like 6 to 10, it's like 66% longer. Like, they are kind of substantial. I think that would definitely make Wyvern not as broken. I think a lot of people would say, even in the pub stats, it's got silly win rate for what pick rate it's got and all that. So it's clearly too strong.
Yeah. I don't think they'll do...
mana scaling the Arctic Burn. Because it's 100 at all levels. I feel like if you wanted to kill the hero, you just get rid of the flying on Arctic Burn. But I would prefer they not do that.
Yeah. I don't think they'll do... Yeah, I don't think they'll do any reworky kind of thing, because I was thinking about what if they changed Cold Embrace rather than blocking all physical, it blocks like 80% or something. 80% physical reduction.
Yeah.
Because I sort of feel like the hero, with the laning as it is, with Splinter Blast and Q, and then the ult, which is Wyvern, that's like quintessential Wyvern throughout time, that is kind of enough for the hero to be good, so long as Cold Embrace is like a big heal. That doesn't even have to have teamfight potential. Even if it just has like, reset heal potential, the hero is still going to be pickable, I think. Like, how important is the 100% physical reduction? Like, it almost makes the hero OP. Well, we know the hero is OP.
Yeah, it's kind of like when Grimstroke's Inkswell did that.
Yeah.
That's what it did, right? It disarmed the target.
Made them immune to physical, yeah.
Immune to physical. They were untargetable at one point as well, I think.
I think that's the original way they shipped Grimstroke, was that his E disarmed who you put it on, but they were immune to physical. So it had really sick offensive and defensive, whereas this is like double defensive utility. I mean, it's just a better disruption. Like, I guess you can't cast it on other people. It's a better Astral, or a better defensive version of all of these spells, because it also resets somebody to 1,500 more health than they started with. Like, the only thing that people... I mean, what do you get? I mean, you have to, like, have a diffusal and wail on them, or, like, burning spears from Husker or something. Like, there's not a lot of things that really just destroy you while you're being cold embraced. Because you're healing through all the magic burst.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
There's also a question of when Ice Frog balances and does patches, how much attention is paid to pro scene versus what's going on in the pubs. But I think the fact that the Holy Locket meta was so strong, and this healing and Holy Locket purchases were so prevalent and I think successful, although you might not see that as strong in pubs, maybe it's not as prevalent in pubs, I think it was so good that it will warrant a bit of a nerf. Does that make sense? Yeah. In which case that has an indirect nerf to Wyvern's heal strat as well, so that could also come into play.
It is interesting that you talk about how much attention is paid to the pub scene versus the pro scene, because for all of this chat, at the TI-10 qualifiers, Winter Wyvern's only quite far down on this list of most picked and banned heroes, behind tons and tons of other heroes, behind tons of other, supports. Lion, Hoodwink, AA, Nyx Assassin, Phoenix. So maybe the jury's out. Maybe we've looked into pubs too much. Maybe we're blind to the true potential of the hero. Actually, is lower than we think. I don't know.
I think they've had a long time to figure it out.
Yeah.
At this point, the hero's kind of old.
Still got pretty high pick rate, but you're right that your Lion, Hoodwink, Phoenix supports are a tier above in terms of pick rates.
Phoenix is actually a hero that can compete with Wyvern, because you just Sunray all over the Embrace. It comes out Sunray. Even.
I hate Sunray.
Yeah.
We had to play against two Phoenixes today. It's like so frustrating.
Let's move on from Wyvern and talk about Dawnbreaker. Dawnbreaker revisited. It's been 3 months since the hero was released back at the start of April. We, for the first 2 or 3 weeks, did Dawnbreaker Corner, where we talked about what the hero was up to. And since then, we haven't really talked much about the Solar Mama, or whatever you want to call her. And she's fallen from favour quite a lot. Probably ready for captain's mode then, I think. But where do we stand on Dawnbreaker? What are your guys' thoughts on this hero now that we've been with it for a while?
That's a good point. It's not in captain's mode yet, and surely you'd want to have Dawnbreaker at TI.
I figure they'd definitely want to have Dawnbreaker at TI, but they would nerf it first, because no hero goes in there not nerfed.
Yeah. I think Dawnbreaker will be added to Captain's Mode with the mini patch after the qualifiers, if there is one. Yeah. And like Adam said, it's being nerfed, like 100%, even though the numbers aren't that good. You know, if we're looking at pubs, because that's all we can look at for this hero. It's got an 8.2% win rate in Divine Plus and a 51% win rate, so it won't...
I'm not even sure if it's good. Like, I just know that it will not... Like, it will get nerfed going into Captain's Mode. I mean, has there ever been a new hero 3 months after release 84th in popularity? Like, it's in the bottom quartile of most picked. And I'll say it. I don't think she's that fun to play. I think she's quite boring and underwhelming. I mean, she's thick and can get in your face, but I hate that Q spell. That it can be interrupted, and I feel like it's pretty meh for something that can just be destroyed by half the hero pool. And then all the healing stuff is negligible.
Yeah.
Like the Solar Guardian heal, the Luminosity crit strike heal, like all that stuff is pretty meh. So it comes down to the global initiation or like gank potential, and then the W. Like the WQ combo is pretty much where the fun in that hero resides.
Yeah, it feels like her kit is very unreliable, and when all these numbers have been nerfed, you're not packing a punch anymore, and then you're probably missing half your spells because you can never get your Q off to stun someone, and the hammer's not that doesn't feel that impactful. Then you're all... I mean, it feels so easy to either dodge it or interrupt the channel.
If someone doesn't lead with a stun, you know, she pops that ult and everyone just walks away. You know, it's like, it's so long for her to land. People are like, okay, and they just walk off and then come back. And, I don't know, I thought Valve was trying to get away from, you know, they reworked Razor E and they reworked Death Prophet E. Like, these just like boring third slot spells that don't do anything. But then they ship a hero that comes with one.
Well, they debated us, and I'm still salty that they classified Dawnbreaker as a carry on the tooltips in client. And I guess it's because, you've got a passive that grants a critical damage strike like a Wraith King's might. But the hero can't carry. The fundamentals don't let Dawnbreaker be a right-clicker.
Yeah. When you say fundamentals, what do you mean? Just the fact that it's a strength hero?
Not well. It's not well.
I mean, Wraith King's
largely.
a strength
Wraith King's a strength, but Wraith King's got way better damage output. The critical damage of Wraith King's like 2-3 times bigger. It's on a cooldown as well.
No, the Dawnbreaker's is on every 4 hits. Like, it's awful compared to every 2 seconds, or like Chaos Knight, or just a random, 35% crit or whatever Jugs is. This is like, you have to hit 4 times. You don't have attack speed because you're a strength hero, and you have to build an Echo Saber to kind of do it. And it doesn't even crit. It's a 180 crit. It's nothing.
Wraith King's is a 260% crit, so it's just flat out much stronger. Yeah, you don't get lifesteal, but I mean, Wraith King's got another lifesteal spell. Yeah, it feels like the attack speed of this hero is crap. If you also think about a hero like Wraith King, and a lot of strength carries like a Wraith King, a Chaos Knight, a Lifestealer. I've said this before. If you think about agi heroes with blink spells, to be a really good late game carry, you need to be able to output damage. It's like when you when I play like a Pit Lord or you play an unconventional one, the reason it's often so hard is you could have loads of gold, but you need to realize that gold and that power. Someone like a Wraith King could you stun them, CK stun them, blink heroes, blink on them, ranged heroes are ranged, so it's naturally easier. To me, the biggest issue why heroes can't be carries or shit carries and are unconventional for a reason is you can't kind of reliably output damage. So in Dawnbreaker's case, in theory, we've got a gap close with the W. It's not that amazing of a gap close, honestly. It feels like you need a blink. Once you get a blink, well, you've got to kind of manage to get your QQ off, unreliable. And even when you do get it off, you've got kind of not that much chase potential, or they get away pretty easy. So now I need to get a BKB as well. Oh, but then it's not really great damage output. You just really struggle to be a conventional carry. So really, the hero's never going to be played as a 1, and it will never stand up compared to someone like a Wraith King as a 1. I mean, even just the farming speed of a Wraith King is going to be way better with the skellies. So it's not a 1. Okay, is it a 2? Well, it comes back to you've got unreliable spells. Go to a 3. I mean, what stuns have you got? What kind of team fight spells you got? You got a bit of an AoE stun. Is that a Ravage? Is it an RP? Is it a Centaur Stampede? Like the value you're adding to your team is really limited. Is it a 4? You see that in some pubs with the kind of Orb of Venom, Orb of Corrosion, and then a Solar Crest, and it's a bit like, let's just get a stun on our 4. Let's get something a bit more reliable again. So I don't know. I'm just not sure where it would fit. Or
well, DotA Buff says it's been played in the offlane 78% of the time.
Yeah, definitely offlane is most common, but it doesn't feel like, whoa, what a scary, high value, high impact offlaner.
Yeah. No, it's not even a Pit Lord. Like, I'd rather have Dark Rift than a Solar Guardian.
I mean, Solar Guardian honestly feels like it may as well be Nature's Prophet's teleportation spell, because you're not, unless it feels like a gimmick hero, basically, to cut to the chase. Like, in the early game, you're strong. Like, I do think Dawnbreaker's a strong hero in the early game and in the early mid game because of the combo. The WQ combo is still really powerful and does a lot of damage, and you're tanky at that stage. So you're sort of relying off that gimmick, because the later it goes is the snowball, because the later it goes, that's not a problem anymore. And then also the ult is so bad unless you have setup. So if you have a jewel, or you have some sort of shackle that you can use to set up, then that's great. But without that, you're nothing. So again, it's kind of a gimmick. So that's why when you say, when Marcus says I don't know what role it fits into, I agree, because it's too much of a gimmick to play in 1 or 2, and then 3 you like kind of, it's what you can kind of get away with, because it has to be played as a core, really, because you have no reliable spells. And so you slap it in the 3, and if you're snowballing, then it's enough to win the game off the back of this Q and W spell, basically,
I think you have to smash the lane.
You have to smash the early mid game.
You're strong lane. Like, you're there, if you don't interrupt the enemy 1, I mean, what's the point of picking the hero? Also, why not just pick Underlord? If you're going to try to make the enemy sad in the safe lane. And then if you want to play it mid, I mean, and do the early level 6, go across the map, just pick Nature's Prophet mid. Like, it's just better.
Yeah.
You just TP at level 2. Or, I mean, you probably get level 6, but still, it's like the same idea, but that hero does more and scales better. I mean, like Dawnbreaker's Q, it does do your physical damage, so it scales in that way for your swipes, but the bonus damage doesn't scale with your damage. Like, it's stuck at a flat, and like it's still only 1.4 second stun. Like, you do have a spike at 20 if you can get like a double Q combo off, it's pretty good. Like Starbreaker charges, but I don't know.
To bring it back to the popularity point, which I think is interesting, we mentioned how frustrating it is to use the Q spell, because it can be interrupted. You just press it and then watch your hero do it. Like it's not.
Sometimes
it's not
you
fun.
go too far. Like
and you miss
can't
them.
even. Sometimes you can't double combo because you go too far past the first time.
Yeah, it's quite easy to dodge actually.
Yeah,
yeah. You just like you press Q and take your hand off the keyboard. That's no fun.
Yeah, and it's the same with the ult. This is supposed to be the most fun part of the hero, and certainly when the hero shipped, we all were in the Dota blog page or whatever, and we're like, "Oh my god, what is this spell? Like, cross map stun out of nowhere." Then you play Dawnbreaker, and it's like you press the ult, and again, hands off the keyboard. I hope I stun, but I've got no way of guaranteeing that. So it's not fun. Like you're not, licking your lips thinking, oh my god, I can't wait to get this sick chrono off, or I can't wait to get this huge black hole off. It's like, no, I can't wait for a fight to break out in an area of the map I'm not in. And then I ult in, take my hands off the keyboard and watch the enemies run away.
Yeah, it so feels bad when you're like, like when you ult on top of yourself. Right, but you're not going across the map. It's like, I'm going to use this as a team fight ability. I am going to take my hands off the keyboard for like 5 seconds, shoot up into the air and come back down.
I think there was some fun when you could play it in the mid because its numbers were stronger, and it did used to be inherently stronger and more powerful with its spells. I think playing it mid with kind of a phase blink playstyle, I think there was some fun to that. Tempo, and you were strong and just blinking and making fights and just beating up the enemy team. But it doesn't feel like, and I've not done it recently because it feels like the hero's a lot weaker, that it doesn't feel like that would be as successful anymore.
Yeah.
W's
the only fun spell, really. And W is a cool spell. I like the Celestial Hammer. The repositioning aspect of it.
It's awkward. It's cool, but it's so easy to fail with.
You gotta wait for it to go all the way for you to be able to go half the way, if that makes sense. Like you can't just like throw it out. If you double tap it, you move like 100, not even 100 units. Yeah. You move like 50 units, and you're like, "Oh, I've messed up." I mean, it'd be really OP if you could go the entire, distance, but it just feels bad that you have to like wait that long for it to travel that far for you to only go half the distance, and then like you really didn't even catch up that much to the enemy. It's not a very good chase spell. Hoodwink is 28th in popularity, just as a comparison. And part of me is like, Hoodwink is a squirrel or whatever, and like has personality, and like Dawnbreaker is so sterile.
Yeah.
Barely, it's like a robot or something. No personality. No, doesn't even have eyes. So part of it's just like, why even play it?
I think Hoodwink's interesting. Sorry.
No, it's just like, I don't know, it doesn't have like the same flavor to it that other heroes do, with all this like cool backstory, or like, it looks cool. Yeah. I don't know, she just kind of looks like a Marvel hero or something, but like without any face.
Yeah. Without an entire, first half of a movie for exposition.
Right, yeah. It's Captain Marvel without any of the like build up.
Yeah.
I think you mentioned Hoodwink, and I think Hoodwink's an interesting case study because I feel like that hero was pretty unpopular not that long ago. And I can see the pick rate in Dota buff only for the last 30 days, and there has been an uptick, few percent, which I think is fairly significant. But I feel like the hero being popular in the pro scene definitely has had some trickle-down effect. Because I feel like there was a period where Hoodwink was... I feel like we might have even said, oh, what even is this hero? It feels like kind of crap, or not interesting, or not strong, or not powerful.
Get sneezed on and you explode. Like,
yeah,
it's just...
So I feel like its popularity has really soared in the last couple months.
I think they saw... Yeah, you saw pros play it, and then you're like, oh, okay. Like, this is
how it's played or something?
Like, but then at the same time, like, what's a pro going to show you with Dawnbreaker? The spells have like no, like potential to them. Like they do what they do. Then you watch like Thompson or Crit play Hoodwink, you're like, oh, Acorn Shot, Bushwhack, and then you're like, oh, all these sharpshooter combos. And like, there's like actual fun built into Hoodwink. Sharpshooter, just like Pudge Hook or Power Shot, like it's always going to be fun to try and skill shot. And there's nothing like that built in with Dawnbreaker.
Yeah, I think if Dawnbreaker gets added to Captain's Mode and you do see it in the pros, I mean, obviously, I don't know. Maybe this hero is really strong in the hands of pros, because it still needs to be figured out to some extent, because I think that's what happened with Hoodwink. It got added to CM, it wasn't really that popular. And then I think the last major particularly, it really... all the pros are playing it because it's just a good hero. It wasn't like a gimmick hero that some people play, like Thompson or whatever. But with Dawnbreaker, if we see some offlaners play Dawnbreaker, it feels like it's going to be because they're running a kind of gimmick draft that they've put Dawnbreaker in. It's not because we're going to see like the hero reach some new heights of potential. It's more just they're going to execute a draft, like an early game, sort of mid-game draft that plays to Dawnbreaker's gimmicky strengths.
Yeah,
that's what I feel like is going to happen.
But then I feel like those gimmicky strengths are just not going to be legit and not going to win games and not be a winning strategy compared to more conventional ideas of like useful spells or disables or physical damage. It's like what's the Dawnbreaker gimmick is actually so bad.
What's your like best case scenario is when RP into double Q or like a vacuum into Q.
Yeah.
I mean, you can technically almost Ravage. Not even. It's like 1.5 seconds done. But it's like there's
awful Ravage.
I think the best case scenario is you can snowball off WQ, and then you have some kind of setup for your ult, and then the game doesn't go late at all. I think that's the best. That's the best case scenario for Dawnbreaker, and obviously that's really pub focused because that's all I've seen. But that seems like the Dawnbreaker recipe for success if there is one. But, I mean, the pro scene right now, it just doesn't feel like gimmicky heroes are anywhere other than Broodmother, maybe.
Yeah. I'd love to see it work. I'd love to see some pro teams bring it into the meta because it is exciting to see new heroes and it is a fresh hero to the game. But even just thinking, like you say, some gimmick strategy or just look on paper. Someone like Hoodwink, even though I feel like flamed it at some point or it was unpopular all week, you can still say it's got a potential AoE stun and a 1,000 damage ultimate from million range that breaks, and that those two, just them two, you slap it on a pos 4 of very powerful spells that would be able to do a lot of work, disable, damage, break. And then, I mean, if you just look at the paper of Dawnbreaker and you try and hypothesize what a value add it could give, and it's like these little stuns, little spell, they just don't feel like any impact. So it's like you say, you have to think of some gimmick strategy that you leverage the strength of Dawnbreaker at 10 minutes to win a game. It's just like this is just sounds awful. So I don't know. I would love to see it work. And if there is a little patch, surely it's going to get added to CM. Maybe a shard brings it to life, or an Aghanims brings it to life.
As I was about to say, that is the one hope for this hero. There isn't an Aghanim Scepter or an Aghanim Shard added at the moment. But if Dawnbreaker goes to Captain's Mode, you really feel like there has to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll see what that is. So maybe there's some sort of shard that can make Dawnbreaker fun again. Add an active to Luminosity, perhaps. Don't know.
2 charges on the ultimate.
Yeah, something like that. Or just quicker ultimate, quicker, cast time.
Yeah, I mean, Hoodwink has that built in. Like, at 20, your ult charges faster. If you just made Dawnbreaker's spells a little bit faster, not so clunky, not so, like,
dodgeable.
Take the hand off the keyboard. I don't know.
Yeah, so that's Dawnbreaker. Let's take some drums, and then we'll learn how to play Nemistice like a god from Marco.
Marco, are we doing Nemesis corner because you don't have stat corner?
Nemesis corner because I have no stat corner, yeah.
You had a week, for shame. You had a vacation. to think about this.
I had a vacation to clear my mind from the day job of New Meta Podcast. Marco, how do I win every game of Nemistice that I choose to queue up for the next maybe 1 to 2 days before I forget that there's an event game?
So my most successful hero is Tiny and Wyvern. Tiny 1, 2, 3, 4-0 on Tiny. So I like this game mode because it's such a great battleground for spell usage. And I know that Adam mentioned the ratty cheesy strats for, last week when Adam first played it, and I saw them a bit when I eventually played it. 'Cause it took me a few days to get around to it. I think that meta and idea of ratting, I'm talking meta of Nemesis, I feel like it died kind of quick because people just realized what people would try and do, and it would be kind of easy to stop. Like, I've played multiple Tiny games where he's wait at the tower, Furion TP's in, he's blow him up. So I think that rat game got a bit predictable, and people just started killing heroes, and then the way you win is that eventually the enemy team's dead. And when they're all dead, you can take the towers dead easy, and you win. So I feel like the rat game is boring and disrespectful and just crap. So what actually is great is the killer game, and honestly, playing Tiny and any hero really, it's all about who uses spells best in my eyes. It's just this arena of who casts spells best, and I've been playing games where it goes wrong because people are just missing spells, like missing Mars, spears, and things like this. And I think it's a really good practice, honestly, for spell casting. So yeah, you do well. You get some good spell casts, kill a hero, and then it's like a game of Dota. You take an edge. So when hero's dead, you snowball your lead. You take an edge, and that edge in Nemistice is you get some shards to power yourself up, or you kind of get a tower, and then that helps you snowball. It's like Dota 2. Like you get a hero kill, and then you conquer a bit of the map, and you get a bit of macro gain on the back of some sort of skirmish win. So it's all about building those incremental leads, and I think killing heroes is the way to go.
I agree that the Rat Dota was already on the way out even before I took a week off from Dota. You lose a game or two on the first day of release to some Pugna, some Lesh or something, but like you say, people got wise to it and they're waiting around for it. I really liked playing Spirit Breaker for the same reason. You just wait for someone to turn up and then just charge into them. But would you say that the sort of IO Bristle, because Bristle is being picked a ton, that's not really rat? So is stuff like that? Do you still rate stuff like that, or?
I played one game with Adam's IO and it looked brokenly strong, so maybe IO is the broken hero with some +1 partner. I've only seen it once when Adam did it, and it was a ruffle stomp. So maybe I'm missing something with that. I mean, it looks strong. I think another something fun, and I've done it only a couple of times, is going one of these really hard late game heroes. So I played a gyrocopter because you get 6 slotted after kind of 25 minutes, say, and it's just this massive late game, just fist fight, which is pretty good fun. And again, it's like, you fight. Do you fight better than the enemy? That's kind of what it comes down to.
You're going to be horrified to hear this, but do you know what it sounds like you're describing here with Nemistice? It sounds a little bit like turbo mode, because
it feels better than turbo for some reason. Now
the weird sort of gimmick rat backdoor stuff isn't in the game. It is like a weird version of turbo mode almost, but with this obviously the added, I guess the gem power-up stuff that you get, the meteorites and all that, and it's an interesting one. It's almost like Turbo Plus. It's even quicker than Turbo, because you don't have to play through the weirdness. I think that's what's nice
about it, because with Turbo, you can get fucking 40-minute games, and it's like painful as anything, because like both teams become super mega monstrous, and they can't end, and it's like, I'm not playing a Turbo game because I want it like for 25 minutes plus. That's just fucking depressing. But Nemistice, I've literally never gone beyond 24.
Yeah, my longest is 21.
And that's what I want. I don't want the chance of even going beyond 24, which is what Turbo gives you. And then some of the games, it's like, 15. Pretty quick.
Yeah, some games like 12, honestly. I've had my shortest, I think, is 11. I've got 1109 here. So you can get some short ones.
And then another hero, my final hero to shout out is the Wyvern. I wasn't memeing with that suggestion of the Nemesis chat earlier. I think Wyvern actually is a strong Nemesis hero for the tower push defense of your ult, and then the right clicker Wyvern. I got inspiration from someone. They had the Aghanim's, so your Q 0 cooldown, which means you can be a turret without infinitely. And so your turret with your kind of 50 attack damage talent and your Orchid and your MKB, and you can be kind of a right clicker, really. Pseudo pos 1, pos 2. That does a lot of work. So that's pretty fun. I really need to get back to some real games, but it's actually been pretty enjoyable because, again, I love the skirmish aspect of using spells, killing heroes is really fun.
Nice. Have you got a battle pass yet, Marco?
Fucking hell, I actually need to get it, and it's because
can't you use Nemistice towards your cavern crawl?
I don't know. I don't have a battle pass.
Can you? I didn't know that.
I think you can. I think it counts like half counts.
Like a turbo, yeah.
Use the culling blades or whatever.
That makes sense. Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me if they'd done that. How's your cavern crawl going, Adam?
Cavern's rough. Cavern's real rough. I lost a lot. I think it took me like 3 days to win a cavern crawl game.
Yikes.
After the battle pass, came out. It's like 9 games or something.
Yikes.
But that Clockwork we played today, that was I'm basically picking only cavern crawl. So
yeah,
I started getting a couple good carry heroes and got through that, and finally won. What are they? Is it like carry, support, and then like
utility?
Utility, yeah. That utility was tough.
Weaver and Queen of Pain and Zeus apparently utility, but there you are.
Yeah. I second Io in Nemistice. Apparently I'm 4-0 on that.
Nice. Io
7-2 overall in the mode. I'm 7-1 with Wyvern and Io. Io you don't even need to like have a bristleback. Like I was definitely on you as when you were Spirit Breaker.
Yeah.
Or just on whoever, like, be on any carry, tether them, and press overcharge. A lot of the time I don't get the spirits. I just go 4-0-4 and get a heart and then get a Holy Locket and the game's over.
Yeah.
Big sustain.
Man, my cavern crawl is not going great. I've only done two 1 games. I need to win some more just to like branch out so I have more options, because at the moment I've just basically got the ones I started with and then like a couple of others. But
yeah, you gotta wait till you open up that like win a game with a winged support or like a one that rides a mount and you're like, I actually have options now. Yeah,
for sure. But I tried to win a game with Zeus earlier, that didn't go well, and then I tried to win a game with OD, I think before I went away actually, and that didn't go well, so I'm gonna have to put some work in to unlock the Lena set, which is the one that the one that I'll go for if I'm going to go for any of these. I quite like the PA as well, to be fair, but we'll see about that.
I forgot to say, actually, the reason why I've not got Battle Pass yet is because I'm demonstrating my angst towards Valve and protesting with my comrades about not funding a dirty corporation. That's exactly why I'm not got Battle Pass.
Well, it's interesting you say that, because I actually am doing that, in the sense that, I mean, it's kind of ridiculous that it's kind of funny that I even need to explain this, but just after what we just talked about last week, but I've got a level 1 battle pass, whereas almost always in the past I'd go, for a level 100 or I'd get some bundle, but because I'm not interested in the Dragon Knight or the Spectre particularly, I just want, I want Cavern Crawl, basically. That's what I want. And I'm willing to pay £5 for Cavern Crawl, almost exclusively.
Yeah, no, I'm the same. When I get round to bringing my wallet to the laptop, I am going to get level 1, because it's quite a jump up to get the next bundle, like £5, and then you have to do, like 25, 30 quid, and yeah, like you say, there's less investment in the battle pass, because it's not like a mega TI one.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, so...
Also, there's only one immortal treasure, so... I mean, in TI's past, I care... it's cool to have immortal treasures. If there was 3, I might be more inclined. And like we said before, if there was terrain, I definitely would pay some money to get the terrain, because I really like the terrain. So, yeah, I am voting. I'm voting with my wallet here of the level 1 battle pass. Yeah,
also another point in the battle pass. Just a quick Google about previous years. It seems like May has been when the flagship TI battle pass would be released. So, I mean, you'd have it for like 2 more months, 1.5 more months than this one. So that would encourage me to be like, yeah, let's invest in that more at the start, because then you're going to get more use and more playtime out of it, etc. So that's what I'm like, happy for the level 1.
Yeah. Oh man, there was definitely something I wanted to say that I've forgotten what it was. Now I'm sad. What is it? Oh yeah, that was it. Man, bringing your wallet to the laptop, because I feel like PayPal and Apple Pay actually have changed my life in the last year more than anything else. I got Apple Pay like a month ago, and now my wallet actually doesn't need to exist anymore. I just don't need it for anything. It's actually such a quality of life improvement. I actually strongly recommend.
Yeah, on stuff like on my phone and websites, I do have a card remembered, and then it's put in the code or whatever. But with Steam, I've always unticked the remember details bit for kind of PMA mindset of like
self-preservation.
Self-preservation. Yeah. So I have to always get my card out, fucking bung in the details if I ever want to buy something, which is once a year. So
it's probably a good idea, to be fair. Self-restraint. It's it's a bit too easy to just click a button in a moment.
Yeah, I don't want to just tempt myself into like fucking sets. Like,
just buy the level 300 and get the spec Arcana.
Oh, play it like twice.
Because if you have it, if you have Steam purchases 1 click away, you'll end up doing something stupid like buying Roller Coaster Tycoon 3 Complete Edition for like 20 quid or something. You wouldn't want to do that.
You won't want to do that.
No.
There's a player called Sun Goku in the Chinese TI qualifier. It's a pretty cool name, Sun Goku.
Very cool name. Adam, do you have a prediction for TI quals, China and EU West, starting on Wednesday in 2 days?
Well, in a week's time, they'll be finished, right?
Oh, really?
It says 7th till 10 on Wikipedia.
Oh, so wow, they will be done.
4-day qualifier. That's intense, that.
We'll know who's at TI.
Yeah, there probably will be a patch soon then. And then like 3 weeks to work it out.
Yeah, a little drop probably the 10th, 11th, and then 3 weeks. Fucking hell. But yeah, in a week's time, Adam can give his prediction, but he will be salty no matter what, because either Nigma go through or OG go through, or Adam are you going to put your eggs into Team Bald or something?
Let me look. You could guess it in the client, right?
Yeah.
Let me look and see if I remember what I put.
And see if you got any of the other ones right as well.
Yeah.
We're backing into the breach, actually. 2 UK guys.
Yeah, have you seen the voice pack for Into the Breach?
No.
Oh, you can get a voice line of, "You what, mate?" And you can get another one of like, "In it, bruv," or something. I thought it was pretty weak, not gonna lie, but it's quite fun. It's quite fun.
I'm sure the "You what, mate" ginger guy is from Wigan. I actually think it could be true.
Alright, I found my predictions. So, North America, I said Undying.
Nice.
Easy. I don't even know who won these, so I put No Ping for South America. Team Spirit for Eastern Europe.
Nice.
Did they win?
Yeah, Team Spirit won.
I did TNC for Southeast Asia. That was Fnatic,
so did
right?
I. Yeah.
Fnatic over TNC. Close. So I have Elephant for China and Nigma for Western Europe.
Come on, Elephant, please. We need those Chinese superstars.
Yeah, I want Elephant. I got E-Home. I don't know why. I just don't know why I put that.
I think I got Sylar, Chalice, and X Nova in E-Home. So there's been some... That's pretty tasty. But then it's just like Elephant just got next level.
Yeah. Elephant is very cool.
Maybe Paparazzi, FY, Super, and Yang. It's like, how's his team in a qualifier?
Yeah. Yeah. I've got OG for EU, although I actually think that it's not just Nigma and OG that can win. Team Liquid are there, Tundra are there, Viking GG, don't sleep on Viking GG. It's going to be it's actually going to be hype. Because TI quals are arguably as big as a major for these certainly in terms of like potential prize pool. For Nigma and OG, teams that could go deep, this is huge. This is like bigger than any major.
Team Bald Reborn.
Yeah.
I mean, the quals are going to happen, and Gork is playing other MOBAs. Have you seen that?
No.
Yeah, I saw
his YouTube channel. Is like he's played Heroes of the Storm. He's played League.
I saw Dota 1 anti-major.
What is he doing?
They played a scrim. They played a scrim though. They actually
stream.
They're actually scrimming. Yeah,
but they were actually scrimming. But then it was on his stream, so it's like, it's kind of halfway though.
That's so funny.
Yeah,
and he's just like, I got it. We're gonna play in this qual. Better play Heroes of the Storm.
They've got
don't overdo it. If there's one thing we've learned from OG, it's just chill out. Don't overdo it. Take massive holidays. Although I saw on the front page of Reddit today that Topson said in an interview that it's probably his last TI and he's going to retire after this and spend time with his family. So I don't know if OG's heads are in it. Don't know. I feel like they're on the beach, to use the football
No-Tail made that tweet where he's like surfing through the quals and he's like on a paddleboard or something. Like he's kite surfing or something. I don't know. And it's just like,
ironically,
you think it's that easy, or do you just like don't care? Probably don't. You got your mansion,
I think they care a lot after the drama, they care anyway. It's TI,
but
so much money, but
I mean, they're gonna try, but surely Ana retiring, I don't know. It's like that's dark. Like that, your team cannot be like feeling very good, even if you do replace him with Sumail. It's just like, we don't got the band back together, type of a thing.
And also, it's like, even when it's one member that you've replaced, it's like the old band didn't share the vision, if you know what I mean. It's going to take the wind out of your sails when like one of the guys is like, nah, I'm out. Yeah. Ironically, OG's fate, I feel like, just lies in Sumail's hands. Like, Sumail, God, let's go. King time. Feels good to... First time in my life I can cheer for Sumail, apart from the weird time he was in OG before, briefly. So let's go, King style. So that should be fun.
I'd love to see Sumail, but I can't be arsed seeing the rest of OG, so I actually think I'm back in Karaoke for every TI status.
More than Liquid, they're excellent.
I fucking hate Liquid.
Really?
I've every week that goes by, I hate them. I hate Strong. I dislike them more and more every week.
That's so interesting. Why?
It is funny because I used to like them because they were under the Alliance brand, and then even when they left, I still kind of had a bit of I still quite like them. Team that's played crazy record number of games together. Quaifers fun to watch, but actually. Honestly, I just don't like the personalities. I've been watching content, and it's just ruined my interest in them. Particularly when I've watched Alliance content, and that's only increased my fanboyness. So yeah, they've lost a fan.
There's something wrong with you. Alliance is Alliance I don't want to dead.
Are you messing?
Nico
so
Baby's
sound.
I like Nico Baby, but
Prison is easy. How can you not?
The sound. If you watch a Team Liquid vlog, and I watch 1.5 or something, it just put me off so bad. No disrespect, but it was
at least they have personality.
Like a 12-year-old. It was fucking awful to watch.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, if you... the quickest way to make me a fan is if you come for PPD, I'm going to cheer for... It's PPT against the world, even though he's not coaching them anymore. Just that whole controversy was just like Team Alliance, let's go.
Well, no, I love PPD. Don't get me wrong, but like S4, all of them other than Nico Baby to me are like kind of, I don't know.
They are dead. They are dead, but I'd rather someone just be like a chillaxed, reasonable person than like a 12-year-old.
Okay.
No, I'm like flaming Liquid pretty hard here, but it was a bit too cringy, some of the vlogs, so... Like Blitz, actually, it's like big anti-Blitz fan now. Like I used to be into him when he was playing Storm Spirit, but
this is so dark.
It's like it is honestly. I got tilted by his personality.
We're actually never going to.
I know. We're not getting an invite. Fuck.
We're actually going to get gatekeepered from the scene.
Yeah, I know. We're done for.
Our Steam accounts are going to get VAC banned.
Yeah. I feel bad for saying it. It's quite strong opinions, but. I hold strong opinions.
I really like Koikfer. I will throw that out because I really like his stream and I like his YouTube videos. And I like all of Tina, but I'm not like Mark. I'm not hating.
Not a hater.
No, I like Liquid, but I want OG to win because I want this to be a TI. But yeah, we'll see. I'll be sad if like Tundra or Viking. Actually, I won't be too sad if Viking wins. I like KZU.
Oh, Viking, KZU I like as well, but I've still got a grudge against Viking. From like 2 DPC seasons ago.
When they said they're a tier 1 team and that.
Yeah. That still pisses me off.
We never forget.
Yeah, we actually don't drop.
Yeah. Well, anyway, let's end it there.
End it on a positive note.
Yeah, end it on a positive note at the end of our careers.
Like in Gork fanboys over here, like the most basic people.
See you again in a week's time. Have a final whistle. Almost forgot.